Hi, students. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you all are doing great. Can women stop going to Black women's comment section to look for their trouble or to denigrate them because they feel like they can tell Black people's experience? You do not know Black people's experience and you can never know it. Why do you all wake up all the time to gaslight yourself because you think it's all about you? Now, can we get this straight? Everything is not all about you. And you must not come out at every point in time Black people are talking to talk or comment. You can choose to sit back because after the election, the next we are hearing is that how do we unite? How do we come together? Well, I am not saying the act of you wanting to come together because the polling unit, the polling chart explains that there is nothing like unity anytime soon, not until everyone is ready, and then we definitely will know that it is ready time to fight what is fighting us because you all think it is Black people's problem or you all think it is actually going to affect us more. I understand that the system has already been built, systemic racism and all that, to probably press people that look like me down. But let me tell you all something. So at least the one we are seeing right now, the latest one you all brought in, like your president-elect, right? It is everybody that will smell this pepper because it's not like written like it's one person that will say it. You and other people will absolutely smell. So enough of coming to Black women's comment section. Let's get into this video.
This is my impression of white people. Oh my gosh, Black people, we feel so awful for how you've been treated, and we want to know how we can do better. What can we do? Well, here's a couple things that you can do differently. Here's a couple things that you can do better. And here's a couple things that you guys can stop doing. How dare you not be okay with our zero to no effort trying to help you people? I don't understand. Don't you understand that we're simply human? Don't you know how hard it is to be us? You're expecting the world, putting forth standards that we'll never be able to reach. You racists! Ah! Anytime I post a video talking about Black history or just the everyday experiences of being a Black woman, there's always a white woman that will pop up in any given comment section and she'll say, well, actually, statistically this, and actually, historically that, and actually this, that. And the information is always presented in a way that kind of comes across as they know more about being Black than I do as an actual Black person. And to those types of people, I just want to say this. Listen, Linda, I don't give a fuck about how many African American studies classes you took. I don't give a fuck that you possibly went to a predominantly Black college. I could give two shits about all the books you've read by African American authors, all the articles, the fact that you support Black creators and Black businesses. I don't care about any of that shit. You will never be able to beat the fact that I have motherfucking been a Black person on this fucking hellhole called Earth for the last 41 years of my goddamn life. You know what? I'll give it to you. You might know about some historical figures that I don't know about. You might be able to recite off some key dates that I had no clue about and recite statistics and facts that I have not yet read or learned yet. But you will never be able to beat the actual lived experiences of an actual Black person. Y'all have continuously proven that you have lost your rabbit ass minds, and the fact that you think that you can ever out-Black a Black person. I could literally not know a fuck damn thing, and simply because I was born Black, I will still always know more than you. And if I were you, I would find some way to get my money back from all that education and get my time back from all those books that I read, because you got all that information and education and still have not learned to stay the fuck out of Black folks' business. So take the cookie that you got for knowing all these facts and choke on it. and stay the fuck out of my business. Y'all just be, anytime I post, yes, you also don't see color, right? You're one of those. I clicked on this person's profile picture, and what do you know? Liberal white woman. Liberal white women can sometimes be the bane of my existence, because sometimes they are just as racist as Republican white women who voted for Trump. They say things that to the untrained ear or eye might seem nice, but it's actually just fucking racist. Things like, I don't see color. Why can't we just all get along with each other and not talk about our grievances? You talking about racism is bringing on division. Black women don't need to be done because of the election results. We need to band together, and you guys do all the work while we join forces and change the world. I'm so tired of people talking about racism. It's so negative. It's bringing me down, even though I'm not the victim of it. You know what, Linda? I don't even know if that's your name, but it seems fitting at the moment. In a perfect world, we would all hold hands and frolic in a field of daisies, free of snakes and bees and other pests, as a rainbow lit up the sky on a beautiful sunny day. And as a matter of fact, the sun looked like that little baby and the Teletubbies. And we would all have lunch out in that field on little gingham blankets. And we would all feed each other cheese and assorted fruits and veggies on charcuterie boards that fell from the sky. But unfortunately, we don't live in a perfect world, okay? And because of the fact that we don't live in a perfect world, racism exists. Have you ever been in an abusive relationship with someone, and anytime you brought up things that concerned you or bothered you, they got frustrated and said, you are always being negative. You are always talking about what's wrong. That's kind of what comments like this feel like. And this is why when I get comments from women who say, well, I voted for Kamala, I don't understand why you're so mad. Comments like this are why. Y'all make blue bracelets and think that you have solved the issue of racism. Until you are able to be honest with yourself and not only say that racism exists, but that white people are racist and so are you, you will never progress. You will never grow. You will never be a safe space. I don't care how many Democrats you vote for. Side note, problematic racist people age like avocados. I'm just going to put that out there. You come to a black woman's page who is expressing her frustration at the harassment and bullying that she gets, and you say that she is the problem. I just need to suck it up and she is the problem. I just need to suck it up and get along with people. That is because, Linda, you are racist. You want black women to suffer and get back up and smile and be happy about it. Well, it's a new day, Linda. We are not our grandparents. We are not our great-great-parents. We are not our great-great-great-great-great-grandparents. We are the generation of black people who stand up and say shit, and we stand 10 toes deep in it. And if you don't like it, if that makes you uncomfortable, then scroll the fuck away from it and live in your white, liberal, racist-ass bubble where this perfect world exists, when actuality is simply white privilege and the fact that you don't experience racism. And when someone black calls it out, it feels like an attack because you are not mature enough to handle it. You are not ready to take accountability. And even though you may have voted a certain way, the fact that you're white means your default factory setting is being racist. That is why you can come in the comment section of a black woman and try to hush her and virtue signal by telling her that her frustration and her pain and her sadness is negativity, and we need to all just get the fuck along. Anytime I post about the fact that I have boundaries on my page and I do not allow hateful comments, and the fact that my page is basically for women, black women, and members of the LGBTQ plus community, people always get angry and they'll say stuff like, you do know how the internet works, right? You do know that anybody can subscribe to your content, right? You do know that anybody can watch your content, right? You do know that people can say what they want to, right? And people are so quick to talk about it's free speech. People can do what they want. People can say what they want. You know, I understand that when you have a public platform, everybody has access to your content and they can say whatever they want in your comment section. I am not an idiot like most of y'all are. I know this. But it's not lost on me the fact that people seem to only understand rights and freedom when it comes to their right to mistreat you and disrespect you. So you get to say whatever you want to, okay? Fair. You get to infiltrate safe spaces, or at least this safe space that I have marked a safe space for women in the LGBTQ community. You can say whatever you want. Fair. But I can also, because of the same rights and freedom, come on this app and make a video about what a fucking idiot I think you are. I can also express my right to remove you from my platform. I can express my right to delete your contents, or to hide you from my page so that you can still watch my content and you can still comment, but nobody will be able to see what you have said. And it's so weird that as women, especially as Black women, the moment we try to stand up for ourselves and say that we're not okay with disrespect and that we have boundaries to protect our peace, y'all will lose your minds. Y'all want us to be degraded and disrespected and to just suck it up and be okay with it. And this is why I get so upset and annoyed when people say, just ignore the haters. Just no. Sometimes you got to bully the bully right back. There might be a time in life when you could let something slide, but there are times when you got to let people know that you ain't the one. And I don't have to ignore a damn thing unless I want to. And I'm at the age where I can decipher what's ignore worthy and what needs to be called out. And that's up to me. And we need to, instead of telling people to just suck it up and ignore it and get over it and stop talking about it and stop thinking about it and let people say, instead of focusing on what I don't want to say victim, instead of focusing on what the person who is the recipient of the hate is doing to protect themselves, let's start calling out the idiots who just woke up on the wrong side of the bed one day, who didn't wipe their ass, and they're mad that the shit in their butt is breaking them out, and they just decided to ruin everybody else's day instead. Yeah, you can come in my comment section and call me an idiot and a bitch and say whatever you want to me. Fair. I understand that. Sure you can. But I can also come on the internet and make a video about how ridiculous that is and how much of an idiot I think you are, that you could have taken that time to do anything else, but you chose it to disrespect someone and to be nasty and to be rude. Nobody likes when the mirror turns on them. So just like y'all can continue to come on here and act like you don't have no home training and no common sense, I can also block you, delete your comments, hide you from my channel, and put you on blast. And now you got the problem. Okay, now I'm the problem because I want to defend myself. When you disrespect someone, you do not get a say in how they react to that. Whether that be them walking away from you, rolling their eyes, severing ties with you, or punching you in the fucking throat. If you're going to disrespect somebody, you need to stand 10 toes deep on that shit and own it, along with whatever consequences arise. Yes, you have freedom of speech, but that does not mark you free from the consequences of that speech. This white woman commented on a video that I just posted this morning about digital blackface and how a lot of white creators use black music in order to boost their platform or whatever the case may be, but they're not actually down for black people. And she commented and she said something along the lines of, give it up, stop talking about this, give it a rest, you're starting to look as bad as racist white people. And okay, have any of you ever been in an abusive relationship? If you haven't, that's fine, just sit down and listen. But have any of you ever been in an abusive relationship where The moment that you call out the abuser on some shit that they're doing, they turn around and say that you're the abuser, or they say something like, you're just like my ex who took me for granted. And that's their way of deflecting, because they know what you're saying is true, but their ego is so fragile that any type of accountability feels like an attack. And it's so funny because when I'm on this app talking about men and how they need to be held accountable, and we can all collectively come together and say that it pisses us off when men say, not all men. We can all collectively come together and say it pisses us off when men tell us to shut up and stop nagging. But then when I say, okay, white women, let's take it a step further. Here's some ways that you guys also can improve. Then all of a sudden it's not all white people. You need to give it a rest already. You're just as bad as the racist white people you're talking about. And one white woman the other day commented and said that now she's experiencing racism. Now, those of you who are mature and you want to grow and you want to learn, you're going to sit through those uncomfortable moments and receive the feedback and improve and move forward accordingly. But those of you who are fragile, who have not come to terms with the fact that racism is deeply embedded into your very DNA, whether you don't, I don't care. I don't use the N-word, or I'm not a member of the KKK and I don't burn crosses. That doesn't mean that you're not racist still. It's kind of like when we talk about abusive relationships with men, and people assume that if you weren't physically abused, that it's not abuse at all. Racism can come in the form of how you react when you see a black man walking towards you. Racism can show up in the form of you assuming that black people talk and all act the same way. Racism can show up in the fact of me simply having a discussion with you and you try to police my tone by thinking that I'm angry and aggressive and I'm literally just talking to you like this. Racism can be in the form of you feeling some type of way if your daughter or son brings home a black person. Racism can also show in the form of you not wanting to hear black people talk about the things that they deal with on a daily basis. Racism can also show in the fact that black people are simply voicing their concerns and you're telling us to stop talking about it. It's not that big a deal. Racism doesn't exist. I'm not racist, so it means that racism isn't real. So I know this isn't going to happen across the board, so you don't need to comment and say, unfortunately, sadly, white people aren't going to listen. Girl, shut up. But for the very few, the very pinch of white people who are actually listening, and not just saying I'm listening and learning, but you're actively doing the work, you will sit in that uncomfortableness and let it simmer and let it marinate. And you will move accordingly, differently than you have prior to. You are able to say, you know what? I understand that racism is deeply embedded into white culture. That is white culture, racism. When you can take ownership of that, then you will be able to improve. But until that point, you're going to say shit like the woman who just made that comment on my post.
So this is all I got from this video. Freedom of speech is allowed, but freedom after that speech is something that nobody guarantees. You all already know how they act and behave. For people that look like me, you do not have any rights to express yourself, because why would you express yourself? You all already know that a lot of tension came with election and after pre-election and post-election. I mean, it's really been going crazy. And the fact that they go around telling you people that can we all come together? How do you want us to come together? Because I am not saying that. The election chart says that there is nothing like coming together. The election chart says that there is nothing like unity. I mean, you all got to be on your own and the other people got to be on their own. And there is nothing wrong with that. You must not be friends with everybody. That makes you who you are. And when people show you who they are, you know what? Do not assume Believe what they show you. Enough of making excuses for all this, because the more you make excuses for them, the more they have, like, they feel like they can do anything and get away with it. I am really sick and tired of coming out and saying them say some certain things. They will come to your page and insult you and tell you some certain things, and when you react to it, they tell you, "Dear black woman, you are a racist. We are all humans. You are making a difference. Shame on you. Shame on you too, for leaving what you are doing and coming to a black woman's page to put down some certain kind of comments." I love the fact that some black women do not tolerate it. Like, when you come for them, they also come back at you. Because why would you come to somebody's page to type some rubbish? That is not allowed. That is not okay. I do not see black women coming for you people or going on your pages to drop some kind of comment. You all said you wanted something different and you wait for something different. How come all of a sudden you all are also trying to let black people know that you are one of the good people? Like, how am I supposed to know one of the good people? And all of a sudden you all also want a blue bracelet because you want to differentiate yourself from the good people. I mean, you all are the same, because you cannot tell me that majority of you, how am I supposed to count out who voted and who did not vote? I mean, enough of all that. I mean, like, all of that, black women and black people have been at the receiving end from the beginning to this very moment, and you all think there is no need for them to talk, there is no need to open mouth and say what they are experiencing and all that, because why would they air their opinion? It's really not cool. You all think the world evolves around you, like everything should all be centered around you. Not anymore. I mean, I love the fact that black people, shout out to black women, black men out there. I love the fact that you all picked up yourself straight up immediately and decided to make use of what happened. Now, the reality is that majority of them thought, like, it is going to be our problem. And there is a video that I saw where a white woman said that majority, why they voted for who they voted for was because they thought it is going to be really, really ugly for the people they do not like, right? Not knowing that it's going to affect everybody. I just do not understand how some people think. How do you think that you are going to, like, because you think you are immune, you are going to go to the petrol station and they will sell the petrol to you without adding anything or reduce the price because you are different from me? I mean, things don't work like that. I love the fact that they are running helter-skelter and looking for a way to take back their vote. But that shit, sorry for using that word, that ain't happening, because you have voted and you have voted. Black women from the beginning, is just to tell you, from the beginning of this year till November, I kept talking about how black women keep saying that they are not saving democracy and that it's on period. So for those that think that I voted against my own interests and black women or black people in general are going to come out to save democracy, not anymore. Whatever happens, happens. You all are going to say it. I remember, I think I posted a video where it talked about how rich white people, capitalism, told poor white people that their problem are black people, and they act like black people are their enemies. Shame on you people. Some people have refused to read. Some people have refused to educate themselves on the happenings or the things going on. The problem we are having is that some people have refused to understand how this politics work, how capitalism work. If you people decide, like, see, you all do not have the power you all have together until you all come together and fight capitalism, because you all think that it is I and my brothers out there doing it. No, it is not. All these things are not magic. It is something people will use their initiative, sit down and think twice, right? Now, they are cutting taxes for the rich people, and you that work your butts off, you are still going to pay higher. I mean, tell me how you are the smart one, and the OGs that knows better about politics are telling you all need to relax. You all thought it was all a joke. It's an joke. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.